Hello everyone, Zero and welcome back to another video. World of Vision Final Fantasy Brave Exvius New Content Overview, where we have a look at what's new on World of Vision every Wednesday. Today is all about Persona 5 Royal. We have 3 new units to have a look this week. Next week, most likely, we'll have Joker's Vision card and a couple of extra things. So today, let's focus on the 3 units and also the weapons that they bring to the table that will be not only beneficial to them, but to the current cast in World of the Vision. So without further ado, let's have a look at the summons and see what's new. Keep in account that it's also the 11th million download celebration for the platform. And indeed, that is why we are presented with this free pool, which most people will be appreciative of, especially new players. I think Persona 5 Royal will bring some new players onto the platform, and this is a really good way for them to get some nice units. One thing that everyone should do, and I'm glad that they put this as a second banner, is the Viz investment return banner. Now, I understand that there's a couple of people that might be a bit poor because of that wild card that was thrown to us last week with Esther and her Vision card. So yes, my Visor, and I imagine other people's Visor might be similar to what I have, but fear not, because they gave us pack H in case, you know, you need to replenish your Visor, and I'm sure that some people might fall into the trap, myself included. But we'll talk about that later. So I think I'll stop at 10,000 Viz and see how we go from there. Hopefully you'll be able to do something similar, keep in account what's on the cards this week and next week. Now we have a standard banner for Joker, and I think that perhaps out of the 3, this is the unit that most people should consider, especially if you already have Starlight Elena and Locke. Realistically, having a team of 3 light evade units might be a one-trick pony for you. You just need one cloud or one accuracy focused team to destroy your evasion team. So, you know, I mean, like, you already have 2 limited units. Why would you want to add a 3rd one? It is a fair point if you don't have Starlight Elena, so do consider Violet instead if you don't have her. But Joker should be able to do a lot of things for you, especially for the dark meta. I can already think of some team compositions, including Venera, Joker, and Dark Leela, or even what's it called? Joker, Venera, and Prompto as well. Should be a pretty good synergy between those 3 units. Obviously, this is all on paper. So I do think that there's potential for this unit, but I don't think that any of these are a must pull, especially with what's on the cards in the future. I personally going to skip all of these guys. They look nice. They offer a couple of interesting things, but I am not compelled to further expand my light and dark roster. Now we also have a nice step for the 2 pullable units, and they also come with their paid banner, where you can guarantee the shards and not the unit. And what else? Yeah, that's pretty much what we have for Persona 5 Royal, on top of the guild banner that does not include Queen. And that actually makes me wonder, why the hell wouldn't you include Queen for those free-to-play players, or those players that want to further expand their Lightning roster? I think that's kind of a silly decision, but that's only my opinion. Anyway, let's move on to the shop. And as I've mentioned before, there's a couple of new paid deals. Package seems to be the one that most people might want to be interested in. We do miss Pack F. It was such a good pack, but I don't think that they'll bring that back. Keep in account that, you know, the less choice you offer to your clients, the more chances are that they're going to buy the only choice available. And I'm sure that this is what Square Enix and Gloomy are thinking. So you know, you're kind of locked out, and yeah, sucks for the low spending players. But yeah, other than that, there's the usual stuff. Nothing special. I wouldn't really go for anything here other than maybe Pack H if you have the funds for it. Now, what I like here is close to nothing. We can farm the 2 weapons that are here, so the Rapier and the Rebel Knife. I'm gonna talk about these weapons in the Farplane section as per is custom in my channel. And what else? Yeah, other than that, standard stuff, I wouldn't touch anything. Now here, I do like the 5 theme here, that everything is 5 gil or a number that includes 5. What people should definitely consider is those large energies for only 5 gil. Those come for a $3, so you're actually making a big saving if you're low on pots. So that's a must grab. Going further down, we do have some shop deals for the 11 million download. What do I like here? Maybe this one, where it comes with a Blossom of Paradise and 11 Rainbow Spheres for 11 paid. I think this is something that most people should consider. Further down, nothing else. I would just touch the second pack here. Now, onto the inverted commas free shop. I do like the first row, really good stuff. And in terms of the rest, this is crazy. This is what we used to pay for UR Visual shards. So I think that's actually super crazy. Further down, if you're a new player or you've only joined the platform for a couple of months, here you'll have a chance for free Visual to grab a fully +5 weapon or equipment of choice. So do consider investing at least 1,500 for something here. Personally, I think that the best bank for buck here would be the Lunar Tome, because we are starting to have more units that are having books, and books aren't as farmable as they used to be. So I would definitely at least grab one of those. I haven't seen a farmable book in a long time. And what else? Other than that, yeah, nothing else really strikes my attention as a day one player. Mage Masher, we can farm them this week. Spineblade. Spineblade is actually an OP sword, so do also consider that piece of equipment that penetrates defense. Now, let's go onto the Farplane and start talking about a couple of weapons and new things this time around. Before I delve into the Persona 5, I want to talk about the selection quest, because we have new quests for Wind. So we have a quest from 11 to 13 for Wind, where you'll be able to farm Gargaz's weapon. Obviously the stats are very tailored for him, so if you don't have him, don't worry about it. But if you already have beaten selection quest 10, then you might as well consider going all the way for his staff. Now let's go into Persona 5 and see what's on deck. So pretty much basic stuff. You do your 10 standard Persona quest, Persona 5 quest, and then you'll have your high difficulty and brutal difficulty quest, which will allow you to farm 3 weapons, which are Rebel Knife, which I think is going to be a best in slot for a non-evasive Vinera. For Vinera, there's going to be tanky with her unit resisted up, going into the first line row and destroying everyone with her dual gunner sub. I think there is a potential for her to be quite strong in that regard. Obviously, if you're getting Joker, you might want to grab the maybe 2 pair, because as I mentioned before, I think that Vinera and Joker could be a good duo. Then we have the Brass Knuckle, which I think has some pretty good attack stats. Obviously the attack and the magic stats are equal, because Queen is a very let's say unique unit in that regard. So perhaps I would just only grab 1 +5 copy of this. And then the Rapier. I think that if you're not planning to get Violet, do consider this weapon for Halloween Frederica, because her kit does rely on critical, and obviously there's other units that do rely on critical attack to proc some additional effects. So at least grab one, even if you're not planning to get Violet. Okay, let's go on to story. And in story, we have 10 new quests that we can do. We'll have at least 500 Viz out of this, not including the Viz that is acquirable into the missions. And as I say, always, it's always nice to, I do enjoy story, I hope you do too. There's a good build up, and yeah, there's a couple of things, different storylines happening at the same time. So hopefully they'll focus on one in the long run. And do not forget about the double unit shard drops for the hard quest. So you'll be able to get 10 shards all up for this week in commemoration of the 11 million downloads. Okay, so before we end the video, let's talk about what I plan to do with this week's content. So in terms of Joker, he looks pretty good, but I am going to skip him. I don't think that he's going to add any extra value to my current dark themes. He's very tailored to slash and missile attack. He can have like raises defense. He has barriers and stuff like that. But I still don't feel compelled to build him. I think I might get his vision card because it does offer some goodies for the dark team in particular, especially with that HP up. But other than that, I think I'm gonna skip both him and Violet. And despite popular belief that Queen is a bad unit, I think that I'm actually going to slow build her. And hear me out. I'm going to create I'm gonna make another video more in depth about this, but there is a difference between global vision cards and units compared to JP. Global does have units like Ibarra, and her vision card that would be strongly beneficial for Queen, especially in increasing her magic damage output. And yes, I wouldn't focus on her strike damage. I would mostly focus on her magic based damage. And I think that there is a good case to make a decent team with Ibarra, especially coming into account that Ibarra already has Imperils. But if you need that extra oomph in regards to breaking barriers and healing and things like that, I think that Queen will be able to be a pretty good support unit for the lightning element. Again, I reiterate this. I like units that are hard to use and require a bit of gray matter to make work. So if I were to consider and perhaps recommend Queen, I wouldn't do that. I would only recommend Queen for manual players or for veteran players and players that have the resources to invest in a niche character. But if you're a casual player or you just like to auto things, yes, I do align with the general belief that Queen might be better left alone. Again, Queen is very similar to Esther. I believe that she requires very specific setups to work, and you can make her work both with physical attacks and magical attacks, but you need to choose one or the other. So there's potential builds for her. And as I said, I'm more than happy to go into detail in a separate video. Also saying that Queen can be a direct counter to Joker, because there is evidence that all collaboration units are kind of rock, paper, scissors. They are all weak to one another. So I will go more in depth into a different video in regards to that. Stay tuned. And without further ado, thank you very much for tuning in. We'll catch you perhaps on Saturday. I'm gonna release the video I just spoke about. And yeah, you guys enjoy Persona 5 content, and we'll catch you next time. Have a good one.